Hello students, so today we are going to start a new unit of a chemistry part 2 unit 15 polymers. So as we know, we use large different type of varieties of polymers, and it is deeply impacted our daily life. It is not just regular plastic products, it is far more than that. We use them as a buckets, cups, saucers, children toys, packaging, synthetic clothing materials, automobile tires, gears, seals, electrical insulators or electrical devices, even in circuit boards. Hello students, so today we are going to start a new unit of a chemistry part 2 unit 15 polymers. So as we know, we use large different type of varieties of polymers, and it is deeply impacted our daily life. It is not just regular plastic products, it is far more than that. We use them as a buckets, cups, saucers, children toys, packaging, synthetic clothing materials, automobile tires, gears, seals, electrical insulators or electrical devices, even in circuit boards. So polymers are backbone of four major industries, that is plastic, elastomer, fiber, paints and varnishes. So word polymer is a coined from two Greek words. Poly means many and mer means unit or parts. So as the name suggests, it has many parts, and when these parts combines with each other, they will create a large chain like structure which is known as polymer. So because of their large sizes, their molecular masses are very large also. Generally 10 raised to 3 to 10 raised to 7 U. So that means if we compare it with other molecule, it is extremely high. As for example, if we compare it with water molecule, then molecular mass of water will be 18, whereas molecular masses of polymers will start from 10 raised to 3 to 10 raised to 7. So that means it is very large number. So if you have 1 mole of water, it will weigh 18 grams, and if you have polymer molecules in quantity of 1 mole, then at least it will weigh 1000 grams. Minimum weight will be 1000 gram. So it is very large in size, and that's why they are referred as macromolecules, where macro word represents large in size. These macromolecules are formed by joining of repeating structural unit on a large scale. The repeating structural units are derived from some simple and reactive molecules. So they are known as monomers. So that means when monomer combines with each other, they will create polymer in large quantity. So monomers are linked to each other by covalent bonds. They are not attractive forces between them or ionic forces. They are attached with each other with covalent bonds. That means they will behave as a single covalent molecule. So process of formation of polymers from repetitive monomers is called polymerization. So when monomers combined with each other in large scale, they will create polymer, and this process is known as polymerization. So next thing we will discuss about classification of polymerization. Now next thing, classification of polymers. So mainly polymers are classified in three categories: natural polymers, semi-synthetic polymers and synthetic polymers. So as the name suggests, natural polymers are naturally occurred polymers. We can find them in nature, that means in plants or animals. As for example, they are present as a protein, cellulose, starch and resins and rubbers. So these are natural polymers which has large number of repeating monomers. Then we have semi-synthetic polymers. These semi-synthetic polymers are derived from natural polymers like cellulose derivatives as cellulose acetate, that means rayon, and cellulose nitrate, etc. These are the example of semi-synthetic polymer. That means they occurred naturally, but with some chemical reaction we can change their structures. And then we have synthetic polymers. So these type of polymers are completely man-made. Raw material or monomers are naturally occurring chemicals, and then we will process them that means it will undergo polymerization reaction and you will get synthetic polymers. As for example, polythene, commonly used plastic product, polythene bags. They are they have monomers of ethene, and ethene molecules will combine with each other and they will create polyethylene. So other synthetic fibers like nylon 6, nylon 66, synthetic rubbers like Buna S are example of man-made polymers extensively used in daily life as well as in industries. So next we can even classify polymers based on their structures, molecular forces or mode of polymerizations as well. Okay, so that means we have other classification methods too. Now let us talk about polymerization reactions. So in type of polymerization, there are two broad type of polymerization reaction, that is addition or chain growth polymerization and condensation or step growth polymerization. So in first type, that means addition or chain growth polymerization, nothing will be left behind. As the name suggests, addition reaction, that means when two different molecules, two or more than two different molecules react with each other, they will completely added into each other and nothing will be removed from that reaction. It is called addition reaction. And in second reaction, that means condensation of or step growth polymerization. In this reaction, some simple molecules will be removed from the monomers when they combine with each other. So let us talk about our first reaction. So in addition polymerization or chain growth polymerization, generally this reaction is completed in few steps. In this type of polymerization, the molecules of same monomer or different monomers add together on a large scale. To form polymers, the monomers used are unsaturated compound. That means they will have double or triple bonds. So that means we can use alkenes or alkylenes as their derivatives. So this mode of polymerization lead to an increase in the chain length, and chain growth can take place through the formation of either free radical or ionic species. Now free radical, that means it will have single electrons, no charge, and reactivity will be obtained from single electron. They are quite reactive compounds. And ionic species, that means either it will have positive or negative charge depending on the nature of monomer. However, free radical governed addition or chain growth polymerization is the most common mode because it is comparatively very reactive and it gives comparatively good quantity of product. So let us discuss about mechanism of addition polymerization. A variety of alkenes or dienes and their derivatives are polymerized in the presence of free radical generating initiator. That means we need catalyst for this. So like benzoyl peroxide, acetyl peroxide, tertiary butyl peroxide, etc. These are the compound which creates free radical. So that this free radical will initiate the reaction of polymerization. Now this reaction has mainly three steps: chain initiation, chain propagation, and then chain termination step. So let us discuss about this with example. So let us use example of ethane to polythene. So let us discuss about chain initiation step. So molecules of ethene are heated or exposed to light in the presence of initiator benzoyl peroxide. Now first of all, benzoyl peroxide will split, and because of oxygen oxygen single bond, when this bond breaks, both of the oxygen gets their electrons because of equal negativity. So because of same negativity, we will get two molecules, and they will behave as free radical, and it will help to initiate polymerization reaction. CO2 molecule will be removed from it, so we will get phenyl radical. So this phenyl radical will react with one of the ethene molecule. So as we know, in ethene we have carbon carbon double bond, and because of free radical effect from phenyl radical. This phenyl radical will try to stabilize, and that's why it needs one electron, and then it will form bond. So it will break this bond, that means weaker bond, pi bond will break, and both of the carbon will get their electrons. So this electron of first carbon will combine with electron of free radical, and we will get a new free radical, because this last carbon or second carbon still has its electron. So that's why you will get a larger new free radical, and this situation will repeat itself. Now we are moving on second step, which is chain propagation step. So larger sized free radical obtained from first step will again try to combine with next ethene molecule. So same type of situation will repeat. Pi bond will break, both of the carbon will get their electrons. Electron of first carbon will combine with free radical, and you will get new larger sized free radical, and same type of repetition will give us new polymeric free radical. Now we need to stop this reaction after certain time period. Now to stop polymerization reaction, we need to move on next step, which is chain termination step. So we have some different methods to do so, but one of these methods are mentioned here. So as we can see, we have two larger sized molecules, free radical molecules obtained from chain propagation step. Now as we can see, both of them have free radical portion at the end of the chain. So both of them will share their electrons with each other, and they will combine with each other by forming covalent bond, and you will get a larger sized polythene molecule. Okay, so that's how we can terminate the chain. So these type of addition polymers are formed by polymerization of a single monomeric species. That's why it is known as homopolymer. And if we have more than one different type of monomeric molecules combined with each other, then they will call copolymers. So some of the examples are mentioned here. As we can see, BuNa-S, it is a formation of two different type of monomers, buta-1,3-diene and styrene. Okay, so that's why it is called copolymer, and it is obtained by addition polymerization. So main thing to note here is, in addition polymerization, nothing will be removed from the reactant molecules. All of the molecules will combine with each other. Now let us talk about some important addition polymers. So first of all, polythene. So we have two different type of forms of polythene: low density and high density polymer. So first of all, polythene is a linear or slightly branched long chain molecules. These are capable of repeatedly softening on heating and hardening on cooling, and are thus thermoplastic polymers. We already discussed about some of these type of nature earlier in some units. So thermoplastics have tendency to regain their shapes. So first of all, low density polythene. So this type of polythene can be obtained by polymerization of ethene under high pressure of 1000 to 2000 atmosphere and temperature between 350 to 570 Kelvin in presence of catalyst. So as we discussed earlier, we need some free radical catalyst to initiate the reaction. That's why we have to use some catalyst. So low density polymer is obtained through the free radical addition and H atom abstraction. It has highly branched structure, and these polymers have slightly straight chain structure and some branches as shown in this figure. So this represents long carbon chain with some additional branches. To obtain high density polythene, all reaction will take place in hydrocarbon solvent. So ethene in presence of Ziegler-Natta catalyst and at the temperature of 333 Kelvin to 343 Kelvin and under pressure of 6 to 7 atmosphere, you will get high density polythene. So it do not have branches, or number of branches are very low, and that's why all of the large molecules are closely held. That means their packing efficiency will be comparatively more, and that's why density will be higher, and that's why they are called high density polythene. So chemically these type of polythenes are inert, and majority of plastic compounds are chemically inert, and because of higher density, high density polythene are comparatively harder than low density polymer. So that's why they are used for the manufacturing of buckets, dustbin, bottles, pipes, etc. Here is a example of high density polythene. As we can see, it do not have branches, or number of branches will be very low. Next we have polytetrafluoroethane. So Teflon or polytetrafluoroethane is one of the very useful polymer. So this type of compound is obtained by heating tetrafluoroethane with the free radical or persulfate catalyst at high pressure. So chemical inertivity of Teflon is very high, and it has resistance against attack of corrosive reagent, and that's why it is used in making oil seals, gaskets, and also used for non-stick surface coated utensils. That means one of the common example, non-stick cooking utensil, and because of very less interaction or reactivity, many other things are also coated with Teflon. Next is a polyacrylonitrile. So polymerization of acrylonitrile in presence of peroxide catalyst leads to formation of polyacrylonitrile. So CN group will be present as a branch in this case, and polyacrylonitrile is a substitute for wool. That means it is fibrous compound, and we can use it for textile industries. That means to use it as a clothes.